Leaving Paignton and heading towards Dartmouth. This is 2253 Omaha, built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works in America in 1943. It was shipped to France after the D-Day landings, saw service in Poland and was restored in Yorkshire. Through Goodrington Sands halt and the gradient starts to approach 1 in 60. The railway had reached Paignton in 1859 and this section was completed 2 years later. Goodrington Sands halt was added in 1928. The engine on this train is Lytham Manor, built by British Railways in December 1950 and withdrawn from service 15 years later. From here the line leaves the coast and swings inland, to pass over first the Broad Sands Viaduct and then the 148-yard-long Hook Hills Viaduct seen here. It was designed by Brunel and completed after his death. Notice the observation coach on the rear of this train. More on this one later. And here's Omaha again. It was named in honour of the owner's father, who was on the D-Day beaches in June 1944. We've now reached the summit of the line at Cherston. The station here was first called Brixham Road, changing its name to Cherston when the branch line from here to Brixham opened in 1868. The branch line went off to the right in this shot. The line from here to Kingswear for Dartmouth opened in 1864. It was operated and then owned by the South Devon Railway, becoming part of the Great Western in 1876. This train is hauled by a Great Western Railway tank engine, number 4277, now called Hercules. It was built in Swindon in 1920 and rescued after 22 years in the Barry scrapyard. Hercules spent many years hauling heavy coal trains through the Welsh valleys. Cherston is now the site of the Paignton and Dartmouth Railway's workshops. This is another of the line's preserved steam locomotives, number 5239 Goliath. It was built in Swindon in 1924 and withdrawn in 1963, arriving in Devon to work here 10 years later. The Paignton to Dartmouth line regularly sees visiting excursions off the National Rail network. Here in 2011 it was hauled by 6024 King Edward I, built by the Great Western Railway at Swindon in 1930. Initially, the line through here was built to Brunel's broad gauge, being converted to standard gauge in 1892. There was a passing loop here, but that was closed in 1968 before being reinstated by the present owners. The Brixham branch line closed in May 1963. The next station on the line serves the National Trust property at Greenway, formerly owned by Agatha Christie. Trains enter a 495-yard-long tunnel here and run downhill at 1 in 77, emerging beside the River Dart. Near here, the railway was originally carried over 2 creeks at Longwood and Noss on low wooden viaducts, but they were demolished after the line was moved inland around the creeks in May 1923. The engine here is Lytham Manor again, and the observation coach is next to the engine. This was built for the Southern Railway's Devon Bell service between Waterloo and Ilfracombe, and operated between 1947 and 1954. The train has just passed Britannia Crossing, which is a level crossing over the A379 road as it approaches the Dartmouth Higher Ferry. It's from the signal box here that the signals for the whole line are controlled. There was also a halt there until 1988. Here is Goliath again, moving ready to haul its train back to Paignton. The line between Kingswear for Dartmouth and Paignton was not listed for closure in the Beeching report, but through trains to Paddington were a rarity after 1966, when a shuttle service was introduced to and from Paignton. Most Sunday trains were withdrawn a year later. Closure was first mooted in 1968, but it wasn't until the 28th of October 1972 that the axe finally fell. The line was sold to the Dart Valley Railway, and heritage trains started running in 1973. Beyond the train here you can see the old goods yard between Kingswear Station and the waterfront. It's now a car park and a boat storage area. Originally there was going to be a bridge over the River Dart here to take the railway into Dartmouth, but it was never built. Passengers had to travel to the other side of the river by ferry from a pontoon at the end of the platform. Kingswear has a wooden train shed in a style favoured by Brunel. More recently, a replica signal box has been constructed here. Dartmouth does have a station which used to sell tickets and process parcels, but had no trains. The Grade 2 listed building is now a restaurant. Steam trains generally run between Paignton and Dartmouth from Easter until the end of October.